Hello, everyone. We are here. We are back once again. This is the end of the year. This is the end of a very busy 2020. It was busy for us because we started doing this thing. We started Cars Casually. When did we start it, actually? Like mid-year? Was it like June, July? I don't even remember.
Probably
Paulo?
July or August.
July or August. So,
Yeah.
okay. So we've been doing it half a year, roughly.
Wow, time flies.
I know, dude. It's no joke. We've had, we're completely inconsistent in our accounting because if we count without our little 0.5s that Paulo started with comments, we're at 22 or 23. If we count the 0.5s as full, 22, okay. Then we're actually past 25, and I had wanted to celebrate 25. So instead, we're going to celebrate year end. This is our year end. We have done over 26 episodes, roughly a minimum of one a week, sometimes two a week. We have talked about news. We've talked about motorcycles. We've talked about pets. We've talked about vintage cars and the Mia's Car Show. So it's been a very big deal for us. And now I would like to make sure you really know everybody that is involved. And we're going to start that with the old guy, Chris.
I'm the old guy?
Yes, you are. I can say that, and I can blank you out anytime I want. So therefore, I'm good. No, Chris has been with. Chris is one of the guys that has been with us with C longer than the others. He is, and we may as well tell you this now. You guys are called the Boylets or the boy band or whatever. I think you knew that.
I know.
You were all, and you just so you know, you guys caused quite a stir among all the young hearts.
Aww.
Isn't
And
that
we were. I was about Paolo's age when I first got into C. Yeah, that just goes to show.
So,
how
Paolo,
long
this
ago
is
that
your
was.
future. Okay.
I don't mind.
Ooh. Okay, so there we have. This is Chris. He is how old is your daughter now? 2?
2.5.
2.5. So he has been married with us. He has brought children into the world with us. And we're happy. We're very, very happy to see that. We've seen a lot of change in the last 20 years. It's really, really nice to see people bring their kids into the office when we could, right? It was funny because people would apologize for that. And I said, never apologize for bringing your family into our office, So there. And who we will talk next with, Nix. Nix has been our man about town. He's been teaching us all about any number of things, including how to go overlanding and trucking and so on. Nix has several other little hobbies. He is the guy in charge of basically handling the video stuff that he does, and he's brought people like Paul and I into handling them ourselves. This is Nix. Nix was the former young guy. We're leading
Almost a decade.
We're leading up to Paula, who we're gonna give much grief to. Okay. Next we have. I'm not dragging him. This is what I've learned, by the way, is how to mess with things on screen. We've got Francis. Francis has been around. He has been the stalwart of tuning in the aftermarket world. It turns out he's very, very good on screen, though right now I think he's shy. But yeah, he's the guy who we've had this awesome conversation you haven't seen yet about all the tuner cars that were at Mia's. And this was a cross-continent, cross-country, cross-generational chat, actually, which we're going to expand even more because it turns out a lot of people like it. This is Francis Poliarco. Francis! I want to do a Miss Universe type thing. Francis, what is your one wish for the world? No.
No stock. No stock cars.
Nothing stock.
No more ugly cars.
No more ugly cars. Okay, then we have G. G has been with us, not with us again. He's the guy handling the news, the consistency of our output online. He's a massive car geek. He's the guy we turn to, and if we look like we're giving you blank stares, it's because G is not in the building.
Yeah.
So we suddenly don't know anything.
Too real.
There.
Very accurate.
That's G. His name is Gerard. We call him G because someone on the internet gave him that nickname and it stuck. So that's G. Then we have young
I have a bad feeling
Paolo.
about this.
Young,
we have
sweet
young
Paolo.
who has got this whole new demographic of watchers. He has asked us questions that we honestly should be asking, like, what does this do? What was the last one? We were doing.
What does this do?
No. It was we got between the video you haven't seen, which had me, Francis, Kyle Gaita, the race car driver, Alvin Oy, the entrepreneur, talking about something so over Paolo's head because it was so old. I think that we weren't. What was it? It was like some turbocharging thing or something, or
Yeah, I think
Something.
it was about the escort or the old Land Cruiser.
yeah.
That's what happens when you get stuck in a room of oldies. Let's talk about old cars.
I was
Fair enough.
just
But they were seriously cool though, and we had this great. We're going to expand on that, and we're going to bring Paolo in just because he asks all the funny questions. But no, the truth is the questions that Paolo asks are the good ones. We've explained things. The accident thing, right?
Yeah, the accident thing. That was our last random question.
No, but they're good because they're bringing us. I mean, if we talk, we're going to be talking about stuff so deep people get nosebleeds. But Paolo brings us back to earth. One thing we have noticed, by the way, and this is something that has been brought up to me, and I have been told this is something we should address, is that we need to tell people that we are apparently now a venue for brands that want to push people in comments. So please be aware that some of the comments you see in our little chat, the screen comments and so on, may have their own ulterior motives. Okay, so be aware of that. We cannot control what people say. We do control it if they are nasty, obscene, biased, or anything like that. But if they're putting out viewpoints, we welcome them. Having said that, I have been told to tell everyone to please understand that some of these viewpoints are vested interests by brands. Some of them are pushing their own product. Some of them are tearing apart other products. Some of them are you'll see them. The positive thing is they're actually all on point in terms of they're actually discussing intelligent things. But be aware of that because we do not control what people say about us. There. So I guess it's positive because it means people are talking about us, but it's negative because they're using it for your own interests. There.
And we just hit 4,000 subscribers. Like
There we go. 4,000 year end
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
when we started we were at 900. No,
There
no
we
kidding.
go.
Technically, when we started, we were at 0. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's explain that. Nick started this quite a while back. He and I started trying to put
March, like we
videos. No,
we
even
start-
before that, dude. Even before that,
No, but-
remember?
no, we were making videos for a while, but
Yeah.
like we took the initiative. Like we set a goal, like one a week, at least one a week, and like it paid. I guess it paid off because like slowly, like people were coming in, and then we had fans like the Isuzu Diesel and John Wick. I mean, his name's John Wick, so we have fans, and I read all the comments and like. And you know what's nice is we also get correction. So like some people were saying that, like, for example, our audio was bad or the music was too loud. So like I read them, we adjust accordingly, and now we're here.
Yeah.
you're talking about our YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because our Facebook's fine.
completely different.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Mhm.
But the positive thing is we do get intelligent comments, which I'm sure now will mean that all of a sudden people are going to troll us, right? Who will be our radio voice? I think it'll be Chris. Chris will be the
has
guy
to be
people
Chris,
listen in on to hear his smooth voice,
Yeah.
his ASMR voice, right? Okay, who knows what
How
that
do
is?
you know what that is? How do you know what that is, Carl?
Engine sounds. Engine sounds. That's how I know what that is. Okay. Okay, so basically that's what we've been doing this year. We've done other things, obviously. We've started several different types of videos, and we're going to be starting even more for this coming year. We're going to be doing kind of fun things. We're going to be talking about lots of different things, but basically it's been this. And the attempt has been to bring you guys into the chats we have in the office, on the track, in the cars, and that's that. Otherwise, what else are we going to talk about that we did this year? We've all been basically, we have seen everybody but Francis in person. No, we haven't seen Gerard in person.
Yeah.
Right?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
during
did.
the pandemic,
Solo.
yeah.
During the lockdown.
Not during the pandemic.
During the lockdown.
Yeah, during the lockdown, we've kept our bubble pretty safe. Knock on wood, we have not had any cases. We did a fairly drastic move. We stopped going to buildings. We stopped. It has been completely up to the guys whether or not they attend events, and we generally have not, except for very controlled ones. We've kept ourselves safe. We've kept our families safe. So this has been our interaction on screen, especially with Francis, who we have not seen in person, and Gerard, who we have not seen in person.
I miss you, Francis.
Yeah, I was at the party last.
Yeah.
No. You're right. You're right. He was there. I'm sorry. He was the guys who do show up at the office took the initiative to kind of get everyone together to a point. So yeah, that's right. My apologies, Francis. You were there. I was thinking of our little. Yeah.
Parang coaching a
only-
sleeper eh.
I've only seen Gerard once or twice in person.
Yeah.
Twice.
Right? Twice?
Well, that will change.
Hopefully, yeah.
So what are the big deal? What has happened over the last 9 months that you think is important? Let's start with Chris.
Oh my gosh.
Year.
Yeah.
So basically a year in review. We're reviewing the year.
Or we're reviewing Chris. We could review Chris. Chris, what have you done with your life in 9 months? What have you learned?
Got
Can you
fatter.
bake now?
Um,
Did you fit
Put
into
on
that
some
suit for the
weight.
wedding?
No, I did not. It was embarrassing. But yeah, it's been a crazy year, hasn't it? And it's been difficult for motoring in particular, for the industry and even for media.
Yeah.
It's been difficult for us to actually go out and test cars the way we used to. It's been difficult
Yeah.
for us to get together the way we used to. We've had to get creative with some of our shoots. Yeah, but next year is looking promising, and manufacturers have been saying that they are starting to get back on track in terms of sales.
Yeah.
So high hopes is what we have. In
What do you
terms
think-
of yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just asking, what do you think we're looking at next year? What are the cars that you think are going to be interesting? What are the things that you think are going to be interesting?
Ooh. I'm actually curious if Tokyo Motor Show is pushing through next year.
There's
I don't know
news
if I don't
right?
know.
I don't
That
think
should be really interesting, but even the way they handle it should be interesting. But considering it's all the way in October next year, you'd think that things would be semi-normal by then. I don't know.
Well, other countries are starting to have vaccines, right? Let's see how that works.
Yeah,
goes.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not holding up a lot of hopes for that one.
Yeah.
Honestly. Everything from the first half of the year has effectively been canceled.
Yeah.
So, and it's very easy to see that push, right?
And the
plus, if
Tokyo
it's
Motor Show would be a
yeah,
huge gathering from people all over the world.
yeah. That's where the problem
uh,
might be. You can't even keep it into a continent or keep it into a it might be the Japanese government that decides no, we just aren't going to allow things like that.
Yeah,
What about
but
cars?
in terms of next year's launches, I actually am not so sure what's in store for next year. Do any of you guys know?
The BRG, right?
One of them is city hatchback. I mean, it should be coming in.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
I'm guessing, to be honest, but and then of course Subaru already expressed, their 1 year and a half launch calendar.
Mhm.
There's a BRZ. There's the revised the new Outback. What else?
A lot from Subaru next year,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is nice because they've been quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Well, they had stellar products.
Yeah,
and-
they had
and-
their big punch 2018 to 2019 with the
Yeah.
the Forester, the Impreza,
Forester,
the
yeah.
XV.
the
The
Lavorg,
basically the love
Nix's
that. But yeah,
Lavorg.
Yeah.
so basically so they're on a not on downtime, but they're keeping their cards to themselves because I think 2021 they plan to go out with another bang.
Actually, you know what? They released a list of cars that they're gonna launch. We wrote
Yes.
about it on the
Yes.
website. Yeah.
Yeah, that was their official
Okay.
what they're going to be launching this
Yeah,
region and
car,
this
car,
year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Um,
So
what else? What are the pick an interesting car, Paulo? Pick the most interesting car you've driven this year.
Interesting. Not necessarily the most exhilarating, right?
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
the
because we haven't
Peugeot.
gotten you the right exhilarating cars yet.
Yeah. Well, I did have the Type R during the pandemic, which I brought to
I like
Anilao. Yep, that was amazing. But most interesting would be the Peugeot 3008.
Wow.
I felt like
That is an interesting choice for your interesting car.
yeah. I mean, it sounds like a family crossover, like a French family crossover. But when I was inside, I kind of felt like I was in a spaceship or like an aircraft because of how the interior is, and especially the steering wheel, the hexagonal steering wheel. It was quite an experience to drive around with it because it was so small, and like there's like in the normal steering wheel, like the top of it sometimes kind of blocks your view. It was so clear, so that was amazing. That was quite interesting.
Yeah. Peugeots
Um,
are known for that.
yeah. That was my first Peugeot, so I was quite excited about it. And we did a video about it, me and Carl. So that was a good one.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was fun.
even the 308 the needles. They usually cars are like that. Well, I
Yeah.
guess if you're the viewer, if you're the viewer, it's like that.
Yeah.
Peugeot,
Yeah,
they
neither
go
of us
actually like
like
that.
that.
Are they still
Peugeot
like
goes
that?
like this. That's what I
Yeah,
wanted to
we don't-
ask. Okay.
That was still like
Do
that.
they still go to the center? Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
okay. I like
Oh.
that
But
touch.
no, yeah.
they're
it is.
French. It's just
Mm.
that's the way they do things.
What
Chris,
about you guys? Like,
car.
Interesting
car.
car.
Yeah.
I had a lot of interesting cars. The ones that stand out for me were the Espresso and the Suzuki Espresso, sorry, and the Mazda CX-8. I think the Espresso was such a nice change of pace because it's the closest that I've got to a K car here in the Philippines, and I've always wanted K cars to come in here.
Please define K car, by the way.
Oh,
Please
sorry.
explain what a K car is.
K
One
car.
liter below
I think it's cars that are below 800
liter?
cc or 1 liter.
Yeah, 1
Very
liter. Let me
small
check.
cars. K cars are very popular in Japan because Japan likes small cars for some reason. I don't know.
yeah, even for their delivery van,
Yeah.
they would have it.
Oh,
I mean, it's not like
there's,
they. Yeah.
stand corrected. It's 660 cc.
Okay.
Yes,
660 and
Wow.
below
So is it
Wow.
a definition of engine size or body size?
It's
Engine,
engine size.
engine size.
there's a max length, width, height,
Oh.
displacement, and power. Even power, there's a limit to it.
Defined by who? Who's
Okay.
who's the
Japanese government.
okay?
And then-
so they consider that a K car.
Yeah, then when you're in
Well-
Japan, well, reading it here, when you're in Japan, they have a yellow license plate.
Yeah, they have yellow license plates.
Mm.
They're
That's so
very-
Right.
cool.
Because they're that's right. Because they can't
So by
go certain
that-
places.
By that definition, then the Espresso is not a K car, but like I said, it's the closest we're gonna get, I think.
Yeah.
The other car that came close to 600 cc was the Alto, which is 800 cc. I think I don't think we've had a car with a smaller displacement than that. Does anyone remember the Smart 42? How much? What the displacement of that was when they sold it here?
Let me check. But I think that fits the category. I think that actually fits the category.
He once lifted the
They were
Alto. He had
few,
a shoot
I-
for small cars.
Yeah,
was all together. Remember that? I think we're in Intramuros. I think
I
James
remember that.
Point
Yeah.
nine.
we all together
Chris,
lived
point
in
nine.
Alto. It was so
Point
nice.
I remember, Snicks, like he was always into the Alto. Like he always told me I would want an Alto for myself. I'm like,
Dude, dude, no, it's okay. So when people ask me what are my two favorite, like what's my favorite cars, ever, I'll always say it's a toss up between a Porsche 911 GT3 RS4 or Suzuki Alto. And then
Is anyone else getting him really choppy?
Yeah.
Next.
me?
Yeah.
Coming in choppy
Okay.
mix.
One thing you said 911
Hello.
GT. Can you say that again?
911 GT3 RS4.
GT3 RS4.
Yeah, 4.0.
That okay. Anyway, okay, that's
Crickets.
not a
And
it's a
but
GT3 RS.
RS.
But anyway, okay. Okay, we can hear you now. Okay, the other one was what?
okay. The Suzuki Alto, like parang those two cars, like they're polar opposites, but there's just like a
It's
level
charming.
of sincerity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
very sincere car. Like,
It
and
is.
that's going back to what Chris was saying. The Suzuki Espresso gave me that feeling once again. It's such an
Yeah.
enjoyable
So
car.
the espresso was kind of that, but in a more versatile package. You could fit more stuff. It had a better ground clearance. Fit and finish was better, and it sold really. I mean, the price was really reasonable. So that I think was one of my most memorable
Yeah. Ayun, yeah.
drives of the year.
GT3 RS4, tama. The 997.
Okay.
Uh,
I have a
Sorry,
question about the
996. 996.
about the espresso. Is that a hatchback as crossover or
Yeah, nobody
an
knows.
SUV? Nobody knows.
Ah,
true.
ah,
It's vague.
Because in my eyes, it looks like an SUV to my eyes, but
Yeah.
Suzuki calls it a hatchback.
back, yeah.
Suzuki calls it a hatchback, but to
A
me,
race
it looks like a differently styled Jimny. At least to me.
right? Like
Yeah. I
The-
mean, if it
the
were
problem
4-wheel
is the
drive,
trunk.
yeah.
Sorry, the trunk, Chris. Do you remember it having its own switch, like doorknob? Parang hindi, di ba?
I don't remember.
Kasi like for example, okay, quick thought. What constitutes as a
I guess it wasn't
hatchback? Should
memorable
have
enough.
does it have to have a door? Francis, does it have to have a doorknob for it to be called a hatchback?
I don't think so. I think it has to do more with the hatch itself.
Ah, okay, the parang shape.
Three door.
Okay,
the
Three
rear.
door.
okay.
Like most hatchbacks
Okay.
have doors.
Wait,
I'm gonna
go
try
to
to look for
Francis.
photos because I
Francis,
have.
what car for you?
Yeah.
What's your car of the year? I mean, you guys, dude, I'm scared of what you're gonna
Hey,
say.
it has to be a tuner car. Tuner car of the year for you.
Well, aside from the Urus, it has to be the recently
Uro.
finished project of Keith. He has this Huracan wide body,
Ooh.
and if that wasn't enough, he added a supercharger to it. So I guess if you put wings to it, it'll fly. So imagine having a supercharger to an already powerful car, right? It's
Yeah,
an after-
Yeah,
Where does
okay.
that fit a supercharger?
There's aftermarket company in Europe. I think it's in the States. It's called VF Engineering. They make bolt-on parts for that, and then they also ECU remaps for that also.
The heat
Okay.
management on that thing would be insane.
They do it. They do it on the fly. Like I send you the program via the internet, and then from there, they tweak the program and send it back to you, and it connects right back to your ECU.
Wow. Okay.
No, but if you're putting a supercharger into that pretty,
Yeah, the glass tape.
complicated interior system, which has its own issues, in all honesty, that's a tough. That's
But it's nice. Even colored it like bronze, and the Huracan has like this glass louver thing at the back, right? So you can see the supercharger in all its glory. But it's a bolt-on thing. It looks so factory stock.
And I guess they did their like internal testing for that.
Yeah. It's a bolt-on thing. So it's a wide body Huracan. He even gutted the fenders to fit the wide body.
Would you know how much it's putting out now? The horse-
I don't know what the stock figures of a Huracan makes. I'm not sure. Is it like
Let
600?
me,
More than 600 na yata.
around,
600 na, diba? So I guess
More or less.
yeah, let me,
most probably it's gonna put that around 800, I think.
mga ganun na.
Yeah.
Superchargers are pretty strong nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gerard.
the mere
Gerard, car of the year.
you know.
Car of the year.
640.
And then you put a supercharger on it. Just imagine. I think you're gonna push out around 800, I guess.
Mga ganun, 800. Yeah.
Mga ganun, yeah.
Gerard, what's your
car of the
car? Yeah, for
I'd
you.
have to go with the Corolla Cross because
Good call.
it combines, I guess, the erstwhile Corolla nameplate with the future hybrid. So it's pretty much the, I say all the car you need for every day and
I think it's agreeable.
That's true.
No,
You see,
I think
that's
it's
the most
agreeable.
rational. That's
Sorry?
the most rational answer we've got. Actually, it's Gerard.
No, it's this espresso. It's the espresso.
Because I was like, wow, Taycan, Huracan, no. Then Gerard's like, no, the Corolla Cross. I'm like, you're right.
well, the Taycan is also way up there, but
Yeah, but that was technically that was last year, right? Technically, that was a last year car.
Taycan.
So,
Yeah, that was
Paula, how did you feel about the Lexus cars?
Lexuses.
Yeah.
Well, that was the first time I've driven an IS. It was, like people put it against the German luxury brands like the 3 Series and C-Class. But this one felt different. It felt a lot more exciting to drive. That's with the combined factors of the drive itself and the way the interior was constructed. And we all know that Lexus puts a lot of effort into constructing their interior and the way they design it. We know about the Takumis, so they really have an edge in that. Before I would just read about them, but that was the first time that I witnessed the craftsmanship in person, and it was quite interesting. We drove both the hybrid and the sport variants. Yeah, it's something different. It's a kind of car that you would see with other brands, but the Lexus IS gave a different kind of feel.
Right. Well, it's interesting because there's the argument is that the IS model line for Lexus is actually the sportiest one, and they even go against things like the LC and the RCFs and so on, because those are actually power touring type cars, and the IS is in its tight little package with good enough engine and good handling. It's actually if you want to call it the sport flagship. So yeah, it would be because
I'd say so.
the feel for the RC and the feel for the LC are different. They're more relaxed in some ways, even though they have a lot more power. They're more, they're not as frenetic, I guess. So
the way I put the IS for me, it's not cheap, but it's reasonable for what it delivers. Everything above it or everything else is excessive. That's what I like about the IS. Because if you want enough sporty, enough luxury, enough usability, because it's a 4-seater, it's the IS for sure. Anything above that, you're already paying extra for excessive.
no, even before when it was first introduced,
Yeah,
in the
diba?
late 2000s or late 90s, I remember it was imported, but it was going up against the likes of the 3 Series and
Exactly. Yep.
people really liked it. Yeah. So
For
rear-wheel
what it
drive.
offered.
there was, there's one thing. I'm going to go into what I drove, and I'm surprised because I wasn't expecting it. We had been testing, increasingly, we've been testing complicated suspension systems, right? And we're very, very heavy on using safety, using the proper safety systems. We did a video on, what was it? The
traction
Vios?
control?
Yeah,
Yeah, the Vios.
And Gerard and Paula put together a list of the least expensive cars that we're going to be, that are available to us, right? With the proper systems. But there was a car that I tried, and I've tried the system before. It's called predictive adaptive suspension system. And I've tried them before, but I've tried them in Europe. And they weren't exactly, okay, they were not production vehicles, I guess is the way I would say it. And what I liked was that if they were properly assessing or mapping whatever the terrain ahead, which in this case was high speed curves, they could set the car for that, and it made it more stable. And I thought that the predictive adaptive suspension, I thought that's where it would shine. Okay. What I did not expect, and this threw me completely and changed my mind, was the predictive. That's a system on a luxury car on bad roads. It really surprised me. And this is an Audi. This is an Audi A8. And it really surprised me because I wasn't expecting it at all. It's like, why am I testing this car in an environment that there's no use for it? But it turns out it's quite valuable. And all these things indeed came from the ability of cars to handle suspensions better, handle braking better. And all these are basically safety systems that have now grown out of that. So all these things that we think of were only for racing or only for safety are now making their way into good daily drives that make things better. I mean, there's no reason why a predictive adaptive suspension could not eventually go into an inexpensive little car.
Is that the one that uses GPS to check the road ahead and then adjust the suspension?
It does in combination with other things. It uses cameras and sensors. And this is odd because I wasn't expecting it to have an effect on cobblestones, for example. Right. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. And again, I'm not the type of person. I had someone with me who was far better at judging comfort than I am, Edric. And he was like, dude, this car is just amazing. I'm like, I can't, I'm not good at that. Okay, I'm not good. I can assess handling. I can assess the edge of brake. I cannot assess soft comfort. It's not my thing. But when he started pointing that out, we started going over cobblestones. We started going up and down little hills. And it was really interesting because the speed at which you approached an object, because we did the same thing over and over and over again, like they did with the Corolla Cross, it changed. Because the assessment was you're coming at this speed, so you're going to need this. If you're coming at a lower speed, you're going to need that. It was really interesting. And I'm saying this because all these things that we see at the very, very top level of cars generally cascade down eventually within 2 to 5 years. So we're going to see, and these are going to be even more important on inexpensive little cars because they're not expensive technologies after a while. They're computer systems. So there. That basically, that was my eye opener for the year. Other than the fact that I cannot live with a Jimny, but I'm okay with what was the other one? Paulo?
XL7.
XL7. As much as I love the Jimny, it's not a daily driver for me. Paulo liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I would drive it every day.
Yeah, he
You
would.
would?
Yeah, XL7 is a great car.
No, he's talking about the
Actually
Jimny.
makes really good
No,
cars.
he's talking Jimny, right? You're talking about the Jimny or the?
Oh, you're talking about the Jimny?
Paulo.
Which one would you drive?
Paulo.
Are you asking Chris?
We froze
Are you
Paulo.
asking me? Are you asking
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
talking about the XL7 or the Jimny?
Well, I would drive the Jimny.
Every
Considering
day.
my demographics now. I mean,
I like
don't have to
I
worry.
like how he addressed himself third person.
Yeah.
My demographic.
What I do now, but it's not the most practical. If I'm looking for a car that I would want to have for the next 10 years, I would take the XL7.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think the Jimny would be a good one if, for example, I have another car like a sedan or a crossover. But if it's my only car, I would take the XL7.
You know what I found interesting was that we were surprised that Paolo was very positive about cars like the Maxus, that
G50.
minivan, SUV G50, right? And then as he started driving, we've cycled a lot of cars through him, and what we found is he started like, yeah, I take the G50, yeah, I take this. Then we got to something like the size of a Jimny, and I was like, so you've gone from saying that a G50 is your car to a Jimny is your car. It's like, yeah, my friends can get their own cars now.
Yeah.
So next we should put him in a Porsche. So anyway, it's like, yeah, I have no friends. So there. So basically, that was kind of our year. Anyone got anything interesting? What are we seeing next year? What's funny? What's coming up next year? We're gonna have a lot more sporty cars. A lot of car companies are refocusing to put the sportier stuff on the road. We're seeing it now.
I'm tired of SUVs and crossovers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too many
Actually,
crossovers and
Rated
SUVs.
already.
What one car I wish that came back is the Suzuki Cappuccino. That one would be an interesting
Suzuki
car.
Cappuccino.
Cars.
It was sold here.
No.
No, but it's
Ah,
basically
ano,
it's a K car and it's a K sports car.
it's a convertible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Convertible.
Imagine turning the Alto into a sports car. Come on, Suzuki, if you're listening, I hope you are. Please introduce like something like a cappuccino. I think it will bring driving back to the interest of the young buyers.
Do you
It
think
looks
the
so
young
cool,
buyers
like-
want convertible?
I think given the right price, I think it could
Yeah.
be a gateway to like sports drive, like the pleasure of driving. Because nowadays, the joy of driving isn't accessible anymore. Like if you want like a sports car, you're going to be spending a lot. Unlike before, it's either like you like similar price, you get a regular car, sports car, So that's why I think the older people, since they enjoyed that kind of driving pleasure, it's because it was accessible at the time. But now there's a premium to get those kinds of cars because people associate sports cars with big engines, power, torque, all that stuff. When in reality, sports cars is about being lightweight, power to weight ratio.
Which is
Francis,
why I want K cars to come in here.
Yes, me too.
Have you
I
seen
will-
the K car sports cars? They're so cute.
I know.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Honda
that one.
S660. Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
Show
Okay.
a photo.
Wait. What's that Honda again? Honda
S660.
S660. Yeah, because that's the maximum of the K car.
Yep. 660cc.
Okay,
Were the
wait.
K car, were the K
Okay.
cars ever exported out of Japan?
No,
No.
not that I know. No.
No.
Chrome.
I think there are some cappuccinos in the Philippines. I've seen some people have
I
bought
think
them.
Those are gray market, I think.
here.
Actually, Frank,
I
you're
mean,
the one. It's your crowd that would most
The outlaws.
Yeah.
You're proud.
be the ones that would find these cars or tune the cars to
Yeah.
get more
Sammy-
driving pleasure.
Sammy
Like we
Lucian
would
has
do
one
with
before.
Civics, right?
Mm.
Sammy Lucian has one before, the old cappuccino. He has one before. It was tuned by Pacho. And
Yeah, right.
It was so small.
I'm sharing the screen.
But it was seven. Yeah, that's the new S660.
Dude, look at that.
Yeah.
That's a K car, so that's obviously fuel efficient.
It
And
looks so
sport.
nice.
Diba?
It has that Honda front.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Look how cute that
Look
is.
Very
Gosh.
cool.
I would sell my car now and to buy
Wow.
if there's one for sale, I'd
That's a
get
2015 model, though. I'm not sure how much it's changed over the years. But I did get the sit-in one in Tokyo last year. Was it? When was the
How-
last Tokyo Motor Show?
60.
Will I
But-
fit, Chris?
No, I barely fit. I barely fit, and I was like 30 pounds lighter than.
Shit.
Yeah,
No.
it's a tight fit, but
Kinda
I
like the
mean,
Mazda Miata.
Chris, you
Even the old
came next year.
cappuccino is a tight fit.
Wait, then just to show wait, I'll just get the Suzuki cappuccino so that our viewers can see what we're looking at.
Also very
But,
tight. And the old one.
are you seeing a younger tuner crowd come in?
Yeah, especially
Okay.
with the variety of cars that we have, whether they own an SUV or a new car. I mean, tuning is relatively easy nowadays, especially with the whole reflash thing and, more and more shops that
Bolt-ons.
cater
Well, I've seen the way we would look at, let's say, tuning Hondas. They now look at tuning Hyundais and Kias. Is that accurate?
Only for a certain, a small percentage of the tuning crowd. Because for those who know, you should go for a brand which offers aftermarket support, other than a brand that has, very little or minimal aftermarket support.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about like college kids who basically probably got the family car. Is that why they're looking at and setting up Kias and Hyundais and so on?
Well, it falls for those who are, stuck with it. But for those who have the
Yeah.
option to buy, with the advent of the internet and everything, even kids are well informed nowadays. You have the internet, the YouTube, and everything, so they know what they're getting into. And there are shops now, that are specialized if you're into the off-road thing, the circuit thing, the rally thing. So it's become more not mainstream, but you have more avenues to go to pursue your interest. Are you into road racing? Are you into rallying? Are you into off-roading? So it's become more defined in itself. The hobby is more defined. So even the younger generation, right off the bat, they know what they're going to do, what their direction they're heading into, based on their preferences, of course.
That thing looks a lot like a Miata.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the old
Even the
cappuccino.
wheels, even the wheels are
Down to the wheels.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a-
It looks like an NB.
Yeah. And
Like a
they're
downsized Miata.
front mid-engine
Mid-engine.
and rear-wheel
Yeah,
drive.
rear-wheel drive.
For both. That's a perfect formula. I think that will bring people back to like enjoying sports cars.
It's even on the initial D anime,
Yeah.
Deja vu.
Yeah. Takumi raced that,
Yeah.
He went up
Oh
against
yeah.
the cappuccino. So
But that's what I wish for 2021 or 2022. Depends how long it takes to develop a car. I hope Suzuki's in the works for a cappuccino.
And
Guys,
then something
I think they can
basic,
steal hearts. Yeah.
and offered
Mhm.
something basic, like how the Miata started out. It's a basic roadster.
Yep.
No
Yeah.
traffic control, no electronics,
Do
no
you
driver.
Yeah.
do you guys think if they offered an 800,000 peso low displacement convertible sports car here in the country, do you think that'll sell well?
I would buy one.
Yes, yes.
I would.
Like
Depending on the
an
price point,
800cc or 1 liter convertible for like 800,000 pesos.
I don't know.
Would that sell?
I don't know because I don't know for the market for that. We're an unusual market. We buy more big engine cars than small engine cars. It's I don't know. The Miata, when it came in the 90s, just didn't do very well. And they marketed it as a luxury car, which it's not. They marketed it as a sports car, which in other people's minds is power, which it's not. So I don't know. If and then if you take into account the fact that you got to properly set up logistics for all that, I don't know. I can't see a lot of people taking that chance. I think a tuner crowd would. I don't know. What car though? What would you?
I would.
A K car?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Let's say
I
if they
would.
bring in the S660 for 800.
Wow.
The S660 for 800.
I'd-
Do that.
My money.
660cc. Yeah, 660cc.
Yeah.
And it can barely fit you. Much
If I
less a
can-
passenger for 800 grand.
if I
No, then you
can-
turn it
if I can-
into a racing class.
Yeah.
yeah, that's possible.
But it is I wouldn't mind selling what I have now to get it if they came out with it. As long as I
Wow.
fit in the car, yeah.
You realize that you're the pickup truck guy, right?
Yeah, but like the thing is kind of like the Jimny for Paolo.
Nothing you have will fit into that car. Nothing. Not even the thermoses will fit into that car.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we were talking about what were we talking about something and here's your answer was always high ace or light ace or pickup.
no, the Hilux, the Hilux.
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 Yeah.
Like
No, but
what Porsche?
because I
Unlike
have other, because I have other cars that I can use. So like having a car like that, I wouldn't mind.
It's like
Well, but
it's his
realistically,
passion
would
car.
that be an everyday car for you?
Yeah, I'd drive it. Like if it's manual, and
Only
like
car.
I'd drive it every day.
Only car. And don't limit yourself to being in your village.
No, no.
Be
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real
yeah.
world.
No, if it's like only car, no. No. If it's only car, no.
See, that you don't love it enough. Because you would commit.
Yes,
You would commit. People have like Miatas, that's their only car. I had a motorcycle as my
Yeah.
only vehicle for a
Yeah.
long time.
yeah.
You just gotta love
But
it.
for example, if it's 800K, what I would do for a budget of like a brand new Hilux 4x4 is I'll split it into two. 800 goes to the that one, the cappuccino, and the other 800, the rest of it goes to second-hand 4x4 pickup. That's what I would do.
Interesting.
Okay. So anyway, so that's what we've done. We've looked at this is okay. This was an unplanned discussion for anyone that's watching. We just kind of wanted to get together because we've been doing this for 6 months, and this is the most time we've generally had with each other is online. Although we have seen everyone but G in person. And I've seen Francis. This is basically how we interacted, how we planned things. We did go out and test cars. We've actually tested a fair amount of cars, which you are seeing and will be seeing. But generally, it's been like this. Someone was asking me, "Are we going to continue this after things even out?" And I think we might, because it lets us bring people in that we normally, that's what we've always wanted to do, right? We've always wanted to share this kind of level of craziness with people, and this allows us to do that. It may well be that we'll do this in our current office where we get it cleaned up with a nice background of trees and
That would be nice. Yeah.
birds
Like
and so on, and maybe we'll set that up. That's what Shari wants. Shari wants us to take that space
that would be better.
and make that kind of our little lounge, and that may well be what we'll do when things get sorted out, because I can't see us going back to big buildings anymore. I kind of when we did our thing, we walked outside amidst trees by a pool. That kind of was okay. So, but that's what we're looking forward to next year. We're gonna be doing more. Paulo has gone seriously into the whole video thing. So we're looking at that. Francis has become a rising star in terms of chat. So we're gonna next time you see him, we're gonna have him all set up and all that. So. But any parting words, guys? We're saying goodbye to 2020. Hopefully 2021 will be, at the very least, survivable for everyone. People will be healthier. People will be able to interact a bit more. Anything you want to say?
I want to thank our viewers. So, like when we started all of this, I didn't expect we'd reach 4,000 subscribers, and this is all natural. Like we didn't put any ads and none of that stuff. And even the
Talking
people
about YouTube.
criticizing, yeah. And even the criticizers, I want to thank them also, because they give me input that makes us strive to have better output. So even to the criticizers, thank you for saying that the background music was too loud, and I was mumbling, or I was saying too many times.
Or Geely,
Oh yeah, or Gili,
Gili.
it's Gili,
Gerard.
But yeah,
That's one of my yeah.
Yeah, so I want to thank if you're watching this, I want to thank you for watching. It allows us to, keep our jobs, to have our jobs, and we'll do our best to keep on reviewing, giving you information, because we understand that, especially now when you're buying a car, whether it's brand new, second hand, or tuner part, that it's your next big investment, and we want to take care of you, the viewer.
All right, Paulo, you're going to say something.
No,
Or you will now.
I was just gonna say that the pronunciation is really is a huge takeaway for me. That's it. That's all I was gonna say.
Okay, after 6 months of hard work, you now know how to pronounce Geely. No way.
Yeah.
Chile.
Deal.
Ryan, I've been practicing every day. Right? Geely.
I certainly hope you're anyway. Okay, Gerard,
Yeah.
the person who was most comfortable with all this to begin with, right?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone who has allowed us to share our enthusiasm about cars, and bring you into our world. I hope you'll continue to support us and to allow us to share more car stuff with you next year, whether it be news, whether it be features, videos, or whatever. And hopefully you'll be as enthusiastic as we are. And stay safe, please. Amid all that.
Francis.
Yes. Well, just like what
Yeah,
Nick
no untuned cars, we know, but what else?
yeah, but yeah, a big thanks to the subscribers. You continue to support us, and I hope to inspire more people. They contribute not just to make their cars faster, to make them more better, because that's the main thing, making it better. I mean, the mere
Yes,
change of tires alone make them,
Yeah.
better. Which is what I told
Let's do a tuning 101, Francis. Let's do this is where you start. So
Sure, that would be great. So I hope to inspire more people and to also share the enthusiasm with everyone else. Be it a new car,
we used to say
old
we
car.
wanted to infect people. We can't say that anymore. So
Yeah,
So I
hi,
hope to
Chris.
inspire.
Chris, you're part
The
of
man
the
of wisdom.
Yeah. I just
the
wanted
straight
to
man of the
say
group.
that this
Isekai Samurai.
this pandemic has forced us to grow and change maybe a bit faster than what we were prepared for, but we had to adapt, especially adapt to a digital platform. So we are learning things as we go along. We're continuously discovering new ways of presenting stuff, and we're always learning something new every day. So we are growing, and we want to get better for you guys, for our listeners and our viewers. We genuinely want to provide you with the content that you want to see. But thank you so much for supporting us through the past few months, through our mistakes and our hardware failures and
Yep.
and
Talking
dropped
about
connections and yeah, and fumbles along the way. You've been with us, but yeah, we are gonna get better. But thank you for sticking with us, and we promise we're gonna get you some better stuff in the future, in terms of content, in terms of quality. But yeah, thank you. So I guess all that's left to say is go with what you love and do your research.
There we go. Okay. Well, my thoughts are as follows. Every year I tend to say thank you to everyone. Okay, clearly I'm older than everybody else in this thing. But I say thank you because we never thought we would get anywhere 19, 20 years ago. We didn't expect to survive in a lot of ways. We said we would rather fail than change what we wanted from the beginning. Now we have changed, of course. We've gotten more realistic and so on, but we always said thank you to people elsewhere. So what I'm going to do now is say thank you to you guys. Nix, over here. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to you guys because we took this little project from basically nothing, and I just wanted to try something, and you guys were all very, very supportive. I'd like to say thank you to Nix for bringing us, getting us started in all this. I'd like to say thank you to Chris for being, in a lot of ways, the voice of reason and intelligence when we're going off in different directions.
Not always.
Well, no, Chris, I was trying to find something, and I was trying. And just so everybody knows, there is a side of Chris that one day you're going to see.
Oh, what does that
The
mean?
talking twins. We want hashtag see the talking twins. Everyone, let's pressure Chris to see the talking
Oh
twins.
no.
Oh yeah.
Thank you to Gerard, because Gerard, in a lot of ways, was positioned to understand what we're doing now in a lot more ways than anybody else did. He was able to bring us forward, put us together with our work systems and work ethics that we needed to do in a lot of ways. I want to say thank you to Paulo for being. He put in a lot of energy and a lot of time, and he brought forward stuff that we didn't. Okay, we lost Nix.
Oh, hello.
There he is.
There he is.
Okay. Anyway, we wanted to say thank you to Paulo because he has brought in questions and ideas and thoughts that we never really did. And he reminds us that we do have always new viewers we want to talk to and new people. So as I always say thank you to everybody else, this time I'm saying thank you to this group. I'm also saying thank you to Chari and Mark and everyone who has been supportive on this, to Maynard, who's helped us tremendously, even though he's not with us right now, to everyone that has supported us. This is a new thing we're trying. And, we're not stopping the old things. We're still doing them, but this is just a different venue and allows us to chat in a way we never have. So thank you very, very much. We hope you all stay safe. We hope you all stay well. We hope you all stay connected. Thank you very, very much, everyone. This has been Chris. This has been Nix. This has been Paula. This has been G. This has been Francis. This has been Chari. This has been Mark. This has been Maynard. This has been everybody else we brought in at different times. This has been all of you guys. Thank you very, very much.
Happy New Year, guys.
See you 2021.
2021. Woohoo!